Hey everyone. Okay, so today we're going to be showing a new method for cleaning buttons, mostly gold gilded buttons, with CLR. Now I normally am not an advocate of putting any liquids on a button when I clean it. I normally like to take a button, for instance this one that has some gold gilt on it, and I'll just scrape with a toothpick all the crust away from it. That usually is my cleaning method, no water or anything. Sometimes these buttons come out of the ground and they're pretty crusty, and there's a lot of gold gilt left on them, and that's where the CLR process is going to take place. Now, I've just started using this. I've used it on 2 buttons so far, and I've had some pretty decent results. So I want to show you a little bit of that, but I will warn you again, this is a very aggressive method for cleaning buttons. It's similar to using ammonia or peroxide or lemon juice or anything real acidic. So you have to be very careful, all right? In this video, I did not wear plastic gloves, but some folks might be sensitive to this CLR, and I would recommend that you wear plastic gloves when you do this, because you don't want to get any of this on your eyes or you know, in your food or anything, believe me. So, you know, wear plastic gloves. What I'd like to do then is talk a little bit about the history of gold gilded buttons before we get into the cleaning process, and then we'll show you the end product. Check it out.
The first gilded buttons were made in Birmingham, England, between 1797 and 1800. Being elegant yet affordable, people took to them immediately. Americans began making gilded buttons by 1810, after stealing the gilding secret from the British. 5 grains of gold per 144 buttons was added to a mixture of mercury and then applied to the brass buttons, which were then cooked in a furnace. Using this method, buttons could be gilt, double gilt, or triple gilt. The new gilt buttons were the vanguard of a golden age of metal button making. Gilt buttons flourished for the first half of the 19th century, and their quality has not been equaled to this day.
Okay, so here's the button we're going to try and clean with the CLR. Now, I've never used this method before, and I know a lot of the folks that do it use a Q-tip swab rather than a brush, but I think with the amount of detail and fine lines and ridges on this button, I'm going to use a toothbrush, a real soft bristled toothbrush, and I'm just going to dip a little bit in the CLR and kind of work it in. I've got the CLR in a little petri dish here, so we'll see what happens here. Let's try it out real careful here, small at first. Yeah, it's starting to bubble up a little bit on the surface. Just going to work it in real light, real gentle. You can see how it's bubbling up. Look at that. I don't want to leave it on there for too terribly long, but I do want to clean off as much of that rust, scale, lime debris that I can. Working a couple of different directions here. All right, I'll go give that a little rinse with some water, and I'll be right back. Okay, and there's the finished product, at least after the CLR step. I'm still going to put some oil on it, or maybe a little Vaseline. I'll check and see what I have available. That's really going to make this pop. So it didn't turn out too bad. I think if I got any more aggressive with the CLR, I think some more of the gold would start coming off. If you look like right up in this corner here, you can really see where it's kind of starting to flake off a little bit. So I want to leave most of that on there. So I think I'm going to leave it just like that and let it dry. And then we'll put a little oil on it, or Vaseline, whatever we have. But I think it turned out pretty good. I'm impressed. I think if I would have scratched at it any more with a toothpick, that I would have lost more of that gold gilt. So pretty nice. I'll take that. Gotta love it. Okay, now I'm going to try the CLR method on this button. This is a beautiful infantry eye officer's button, coat button, full size. And this is the one with the back mark that says Horstman and Alien, New York. The back's in really nice shape, but the front has some gold gilt that I want to see pop just a little bit. So we're going to try the CLR method on this one. See if we can't get the button just a little bit cleaner than it is. Got the toothbrush, Gonna dab a little bit of it in the CLR. And again, I like using this toothbrush because it gets into those ridges and grooves on the button. This particular type of button has that real high relief raised edge to it. You can see the CLR bubbling up and working already. I'm going to give it just a little bit more here. Don't want to leave it in too long in the CLR bath. And I do not want to treat the back. There's no gold on the back, so no point in treating the back. All right, that's good enough. We'll give it some water and see what it looks like. So here's the results after running it under some water for a brief few seconds. You can see it definitely brought out some more gold detail. All that gold gilt that's hiding in the gaps down there that you can now clearly see. I will say though that it turned the button a little color. You can see that it's kind of that dull red washed out look. I don't care for that, but again, the CLR is not to colorize the button, it's to make the gold pop. Which it did. It did, obviously. So what we'll do from here now is we'll take a polishing cloth to it and we'll go on to the next step. Okay, I've got both buttons here and we're on to the next step. Now the next step involves a jeweler's cloth. You can pick these up at pretty much any jewelry store or novelty store. There's two different types of jewelry cloth here. One is a little more fine and the other one is a little more rough. So we'll start out with the one that's a little more rough and we'll work our way to the fine one. Just gonna kind of touch into some of the areas of the button where the gold is. Like in the center. I'm going to fold this up a little bit and really work on the areas where the gold pops. Got to be real careful that you don't catch this cloth on any of the detail on the button, obviously. That starts to really make that gold shine, doesn't it? It looks really nice. We'll work on the other one a little bit here, and I'll be back and show you the result. All right, well, we're done with the jeweler's cloth, and then I went on to finish the last step by putting just a little bit of oil on them. You can use an olive oil. Some folks like to use petroleum jelly. Anyway, just a real light coating will help protect the button, and it also makes things really pop. The details really pop. You can see that that washed out color kind of went away when the oil went on top of it. But anyway, this one didn't have a lot of gold gilt, but I think the CLR definitely helped to bring it out. And it didn't seem to hurt the button at all. It's not pitted or anything. Backside's still in really nice shape. Again, I did not apply CLR to the backside. But overall, pretty decent. I'm impressed with how the gold pops. And again, this is not about monetary value. This is about the display value of these pieces. These are going into my display cabinet, and I will not be selling these. If you're going to sell these buttons, you're probably better off not cleaning them much at all. Just leave some dirt on them. But for me, I like to display them, and I think this does a pretty nice job in making them really pop. This one turned out really nice, but there's a lot more gold on this one, this little vest button. So, into the collection it goes. And we'll have to add that to the tool bag, the CLR cleaning method. Hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions, I'll do my best to answer. Again, I'm brand new to this cleaning method. This was my first attempt. But I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys may have. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.